30 minutes or so. How many of you, this is your first cruise on the San Antonio River, but put your hand right up. Just trying to get an idea of how much of this I can make up. About half of it. That's a good way to get started. You're going to have a chance to take a lot of pictures of some very historic, some very beautiful moments. That provided you have access to a camera. So does everybody have access to a camera so you can take pictures of things that are pretty? Does everybody have access to a camera? Yes? Yes. I'm ready. There you go. I like this side. Did y'all get out and take y'all get out and take pictures on this side? Tell what happened. Bless your souls. I like you guys really well. Okay, is everybody ready to go?
Yes.
Let's try that again. Is everyone ready to go?
Yes. Let's go, Teddy.
In January 2022, this part of the river was drained for the first time in 10 years in order for the river to be clean. They did not tell us everything they found when they drained the river. However, they did let us know that they found about 1,000 cell phones.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you that to remind you that what you brought on the boat is absolutely fine as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. If, however, you'll take those items home after the cruise, do not let them get outside the wooden rail. And I'll be right here in about 30 minutes. You guys bring my boat back to me. You'll have a great time. Those be on that side, maybe you'll learn how to take some pictures. Now, would y'all like me to drive so y'all can chill out?
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to remember that. All righty, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Now, folks, I promise I'm going to keep you on the floor, but I have to have you help to keep you safe. So please remain seated throughout our tour. That includes all your money marks on the side of our wooden rail. All children must remain in a seat or a lap throughout our tour. They can, however, place outside the boat. Just remember, don't reach beyond the wooden rail. Thank you for not smoking or vaping. In the very unlikely event you start to take on water, we do have flotation devices sufficient for me. Everybody that took my picture. Actually, I've got enough flotation devices for everybody on this boat. If you happen to find yourself out of my boat in our water, the next course of action is probably going to be standing up and walking out of the San Antonio River. On average, the river's only 4 foot deep, and we'll walk from one side to the other, and I'll get your cell phone all wet. So is everybody still ready to go? This is the lagoon, the Shopton River Center, second largest mall in San Antonio. It's about 1 million square feet of dining, entertainment, and credit card exercising locations. 110 shops, 4 floors, 20 or so restaurants, 2 movie theaters, one of which has great popcorn. I love to go get a big tub of popcorn, a frozen Coca-Cola. They're going to see through the movie overpaid, not the scene. The Shopton River Center is the only mall in the world that has a living river running through it. As you come out of the lagoon, you're going to be able to see a lot of the recovery made since the invasion by Canada over the last several months. In January, it got down to 17 degrees. February 2022, 20 degrees tonight. In February 21, it got off the chain. 9 degrees, 6 inches of snow. We had a reported 100,000 the first time. Now, many of you, I'm sure, live up north. Like in New Braunfels, or Austin, or Waco, or Dallas-Fort Worth, or some faraway planet like Michigan, where if it gets 9 degrees, it's springtime. Understand that. Here in San Antonio, we don't have freezers to get anywhere near that cold. Now, my duck friends drank the mirror. They're right out in the middle of it. Now, as soon as it become ducksicles. So the first day back at work, I went and found them, and they looked wonderful. I asked them how they made it. Bill looked at me and said, "We just winged it." That's the first, but I promise it will not be the last or the worst joke you get to hear the rest of the tour. Oh, the joy of the Oasis is coming on. Peaceful water. Do any of you know how it came to be known as San Antonio? Was Black Fellow was not the otherwise well-rounded educational experience? As we come out under this pedestrian bridge, if you look immediately to our starboard or right side up on the river sidewalk level, you're going to see an 8-foot tall bronze statue of St. Anthony of Padua. A 12th century Portuguese saint whose feast day is June the 13th.
Maya!
It was on June the 13th, 1691 that Father Damien Massenet celebrated the first Mass in this area. Because June the 13th is the feast day of San Antonio de Padua, we've been known as San Antonio pretty much ever since, at least from a European perspective. Ahead port, beautiful Hilton Palacio del Rio Hotel, a 500-room hotel built in preparation for the 1968 World's Fair. That is a historic building. You see, the original contractor had gone bankrupt. Within a year of the opening date of the World's Fair, construction had not begun on that huge building. When Conrad Hilton wanted those rooms, San Antonio needed them. They went looking for someone who could build a huge building and needed a bigger room. The HB Zachary Company, a local construction firm, said we'll build it for you. Not only that, we'll have it ready in time for the World's Fair, but if we don't, you pay us $1, we'll be absolutely even. Well, Conrad Hilton did a good thing when he heard it, gave the contract in July 1967. The HB Zachary Company came on site and started building the first 4 floors and built the elevator shaft. At the same time, about 7.5 miles south of San Antonio, the construction yard set up. They poured concrete into the forms they had there. With the concrete cured, they removed the forms. There were the rooms. They painted those rooms, put carpet down, beds in the carpet, sheets of the bed, bits of the pillow. All of the wall, lamps of the nightstand, bulbs of the lamp, soap in the dishes, they hung towels, the racks. Had those rooms entirely kitted out, ready to go, with the exception of the televisions. So some of us are old enough to remember back then when televisions were about the size of a Buick. Nonetheless, they sealed up those rooms, put them on a flatbed truck, and brought them up here. And over the next 42 days, we helped the train with a huge fountain. Have a seat, please. Have a seat, please. Ma'am? Ma'am? Have a seat, please. Thank you. Over the next 42 days, we helped the train with a huge fan on the back which besides the seat is exactly where they need to go. Each of those 5 rooms, very much like Legos, they completed the Palacio del Rio Hotel in 202 working days, start to finish. First module built in the history of the world, according to Guinness World Records, the largest building built in this short amount of time. The HB Zachary Company managed to get that building open on April the 1st, 1968. The World's Fair opened on April the 6th, 1968. To beat the deadline by less than 5 days, so it cost Conrad Hilton just a little more than $1. They got a historic building out of it. I'm not touching it. Now, coming up on our right at the river level, we're going to see a hatchling of ducklings here. Please remain seated though. That's where we're not very much to be able to see them. They're about a week old. Ma'am, you have to put can't have the umbrella.
But not the...
¿No puede?
Thank you.
Por eso te preguntaba.
Coming out from one of the ridges, there is a ridge on Lake San Antonio River. We're waiting our turn. We're going to know some brothers from the restaurant across the way. On this time of night, Drake and Mildred will usually warm up there to get something to eat. It doesn't matter what they order from them, they never pay for it. Well, that got old rather quickly, so I asked him, I said, look, when I go out to eat, I pay or I don't eat. You guys eat, never pay to keep eating. How do you do that? Both looked at me kind of stunned and said, well, bitch, we don't pay. We just don't put it on our bills. Put it on our bills goes their ducks. That's the greatest duck joke in the world right there. I'm telling you what. That one quacks me up every time I get to tell that joke. I love my job. Put it on our bills.
¿Cómo ya?
Street Bridge, ahead of here, you'll be able to see the Paseo Galileo Hotel. On site. And then the rooms are replaced in a modular fashion. Half the rooms are 3.5 feet longer than the neighbors.
If you think I did a good
Each
job,
room weighs approximately 33 tons. Soundproof, fireproof, floodproof, and explosion-proof. Each bit of the stands and makes history. Now, there will be no idea how long Modular Building would last. April 1st of this year, they will turn 56 years old. This is the Astoria dock. The Santa Barbara dock, St. George Route, just got a drop-off dock. This is Lafayette, a little village. 1722 San Antonio was organized and itself had been a Native American gathering spot for centuries. From the Spanish and then the Mexican, eventually the German and the French settlers came, they settled in Lafayette before moving on to other parts of San Antonio. Still see their influence and architecture there. During the siege, the Alamo Santa Ana had a cannon out of Lafayette for 12 days. That 13-day siege, those cannons were never silent. Lafayette is now a haven for artists and craftsmen to apply their trade and sell the wares within the confines by a very unique section of downtown, which includes the Artisan River Theater. An 800-seat amphitheater was sitting on the left, the stage on the right, finished in 1941. The worst part of the administration. Getting ready for the big Cavalier Fiesta River Parade tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Now, there's still tickets available if you want to set on the Riverwalk. It's also going to be on the local television. They're expecting upwards of 200,000 people around the Riverwalk. Right? The Riverwalk sidewalks goes for another mile up. See the sculpture looks like cattle being driven up and out of the water. That is Coming Home to the Briscoe. It's an homage to the town of San Antonio as a cow town. One time there were an estimated 4 million unbranded or maverick Texas Longhorn cattle running around. If you wanted to get in the cattle business, all you had to do was go out, round up a herd, put your brand on them, and there you had it. Of course, you want to be able to sell those animals. And their starter of the town would have been Abilene, Kansas. A 10-week cattle drive which we're standing this very moment. The first cattle drive actually started in the Texas and south of us a little bit. Then the trees are out along the highways in this part of Texas would never be a ramp for people to call cattle trail. Now, if any of you have ever had to drive through Austin, Texas on I-35, I need to say two things to you. First of all, I'm really sorry. Secondly, now you understand why traffic moves so slow in that part of the world. I promise I will never steer you wrong. By your silence, I take it you've already heard the joke. A few moments ago, we talked about Father Damien Massenet celebrating the first Mass in this area, 13 June 1691. That event actually happened on this little island with a sculpture on it. The island is Massenet's island. That sculpture, Massenet's table. That wonderful heart-shaped island is actually the roof off of the cypress tree. Because it's heart-shaped, we've nicknamed it Marriage Island. As we have about 300 weddings a year that take place there. It's said if you get married on Marriage Island that there's luck in your union. I have one friend that's tried that 4 different times. You're now running around San Antonio saying, remember the alimony.
Hola, pa. Hola.
This Bow Street Bridge covers part of the San Antonio River, known as the Old Mill Crossing, and for years it was the widest as well as the shallowest part of the San Antonio River, so it was the most easily ford. When Teddy Roosevelt and his Rough Riders were here training for the Spanish American War, they frequently crossed the San Antonio River at the Old Mill Crossing. The head port, beautiful red sandstone building on the next model of architecture, the Bexar County Courthouse, opened in 1897. From that day to this, has been the city of justice for the people of Bexar County. It stands on the main plaza of the original town square of San Antonio. Also on the main plaza is San Fernando Cathedral, whose cornerstone was laid in 1731. To our port, on the left side, 404 feet to the base of that flagpole, 30-story tall, neo-Gothic architecture of the Tower Life building. When it was being constructed in the 20s, it was known as the Smith Young Building. The village wanted protection against bad luck and against bad business, so they put gargoyles around the top two tiers of that octagon-shaped tower. And grotesques between the first and second stories here on our left. At a cost of $3 million, this building opened on June 1st, 1929. A mere 5 months later, on October the 29th, 1929, the stock market crashed. So much for the good luck. The building world extended the bill in this building was other investments could not pay their taxes they came due. So much for the good business. Therefore, that building sold at auction for those back taxes and brought in about 10 cents on the dollar. Not exactly a return on investment that anybody would hope to see. We come out one of the St. Mary Street Bridge. On our right, the International Center piece in 1968. Modern architecture. Third home to the Free Public Library. Residents and act offices from Canada, Mexico, and the United States. There's a restaurant on the second floor. At river level, that is our old marina. We have about 18 of our 43 boats moored at that location. Before we go to the Slug Control Channel, I have to make sure that everybody's coming in as we're going out, and also to announce our exit from the Horseshoe section of San Antonio River. That gives you a chance to look back over my left shoulder. Note the Tower Life building looks remarkably like a ship setting sail over the river. That was by design, and that the village expected their future to be as bright as the past they left behind. Well, we know the end of that story. They went bankrupt, lost the bill of the rest of their fortune at a tax auction. Because of those unfortunate events, it is now rumored that the Tower Life building may, in fact, be haunted. Some folks reported, having listened very carefully, actually being able to hear the sound of a ship's horn. Keep walking. You're welcome. Entering of the Plug and Show channel through Floodgate 4. As we turn north, you'll look south about 200 yards. You're going to see a red and green line atop Plug and Show Dam number 5. Plug and Show channel, gates, and dam were all built in response to the 1921 flood. So floodwaters reached 8 feet above street level, about 25 feet from where we are right now. And since these Plug and Show measures have been put in place, San Antonio has not suffered another devastating flood. We cannot turn left and go over the Plug and Show Dam because it's a 15-foot drop from this part of the river to the next part of the river. And my supervisors have absolutely no sense of adventure. As we're in the Plug and Show channel, I want to take this opportunity to recognize and to say thank you to any active duty retired military personnel I had to be on my boat. That includes their families, those completing their terms of service, as well as first responders. So as we're coming out to the Market Street Beach, if you're joining a round of applause, those individuals at one time, raise their right hand toward those protecting the Defending Nation, and serve their fellow man. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. God be protecting your future lives, wherever those may be. About one of the Market Street Bridge on our right is the Drury Plaza Hotel. That building was in 1929 as our National Bank built. The Drury folks renovated in 2007. It's got the beautiful limestone facade on the
Is that a
outside.
pool?
They also built this 50-foot pedestrian bridge
Ma,
to
ma,
walk to the Bank Plaza.
Oh,
We go out one of the pedestrian bridge, you go to our port on the left side, slightly back through the Bank Plaza. You'll be able to catch a glimpse of San Fernando Cathedral, cornerstone laid in 1731. Still a very active congregation. Tonight at 9 and 9:30 on the front of the cathedral, a light show called the Saga will be projected. One of only 4 such light shows in the world, I'm told. This one tells the history of South Texas and San Antonio by projecting laser lights on the front of the cathedral, setting into music to tell an exceptional history. It's beautiful, it's informative, and it's absolutely free. Tonight and every night except Mondays at 9 and 9:30 in the Bank Plaza.
mira las antorchas.
Head starter, huge cypress tree. We don't know exactly how old it is. We'll take it to be over 1,000 years old. We do know that Alvin stood there on December the 7th, 1835, during the rebellion by the Texans of the Tejanos against the Mexican state. So on that date, the Mexican National Sniper hit the branch of that tree and shot Ben Milam, one of the leaders of the rebellion, who had to be in the courtyard of park where the Hampton Inn now stands. Mr. Milam lost his life. Since that time, that tree has been known as the Ben Milam tree. Reentering the original main channel of San Antonio Route through Pleasant Grove Gate number 3. As we come through Gate 3, ahead of us, you'll see a shorter whitewashed limestone block building. That is the Esquire Tavern. That is the oldest tavern on the river. That belongs to Woodstock House in Texas at 108 feet long. According to Guinness Book of World Records, they put 5,976 long neck beer bottles in that bar top. Somebody needs a new hobby. To our port, the Drury Inn Suites. Now this building opened in the summer of 1921 as the San Antonio Utilities Company. Unfortunately, the devastating flood occurred on September the 9th, 1921. On the first building to be inundated, the Utilities Company building. If you look on the first floor, you're going to see 3 windows, the bottom window. 1 window, 2 windows, the transom, and then the 3rd window. The depth of water of the 1921 flood was between the 2nd and 3rd window, right there at the transom. Absolutely devastating flood. So much so, it's the first time in history that the federal government assists on local municipalities. Come out over the St. Mary Street Bridge. Over our right. The Aztec Theater finished in 1926. The Mesoamerican architecture cost of $1.75 million. In today's money, that's about $30 million for a silent movie palace. It's totally renovated, now venue for live music and live theater is the third from 3 dots. Now, folks, you see the people on the boat here on the right, and all you see these folks right here on the right. Those are actually tourists in their native habitat. That's what tourists look like right there, in case you've never seen them in public or in person. Kind of scary to see it the first time, I know that. How many of you are fans of, or at least familiar with the Tejano singer by the name of Selena? Any Selena fans? Yep. On this very bridge, 1992, she became engaged to be married. 5 years later, 1997, a biopic about her life starring Jennifer Lopez is filmed here in San Antonio. Since that movie's release, this bridge has been often referred to as Selena's Bridge. In case you were wondering, that is not Selena or Jennifer Lopez. Officially, this is known as Husband's Bridge in honor of Robert H. Husband, the father of the river. To our port, the Villa Maison Del Rio Hotel. That building opened in 1853. It was much smaller. It was known as St. Mary's Convent for Boys, a boys' school much needed here in South Texas. It prospered into becoming St. Mary's University. The School of Law was housed there until 1966, when the school consolidated the west side of San Antonio where it stands today. School of that property transformed the La Maison Del Rio Hotel, opening it just in time for the 1968 World Fair. The Omni Corporation bought it in 2002. This Ball Street Bridge looks much shorter than the one that spans the Old Mill Crossing. Part of that difference is the fact that this is a magic bridge. What I'm going to ask you to do is to come out the other side of this bridge, if you give your attention to the building on the left, look all the way to the top of that, and come out front of this bridge for a magical optical illusion. Are you ready? Yeah. Focus, focus, let us focus on the building to our left, all the way to the top. Like a flat wall instead of a full building. The reason being that it's built on opened in 1930. It was the first full service hospital.
The Flaca.
Flat, está flat the building.
It was air conditioned. Unfortunately, now it's just fully air conditioned. The hospital closed just by the time COVID hit it. Ahead of us, the Hyatt Regency Hotel, 16 stories tall, opened in 1981. If you're ever fortunate enough to stay in the Hyatt Regency in a room overlooking the river, seriously consider closing your curtains after dark. You'll be surprised what boat captains get to see coming down the river after dark. Things you never again can unsee if you feel it. 16 stories is much shorter than many of the other hotels in the area. We're in any taller at certain times of the year would cast a shadow on the Alamo. San Antonio has an ordinance forbidding any building from casting a shadow on the Alamo. It's at the top of 16 stories, they focus in on the lobby and the atrium. You'll look off the left side of the boat, those glass doors and glass walls and the lobby as you go by. You'll be able to see some of the kids, the remnants of the irrigation ditches that these members use to irrigate the land. Also on our left, Blues Jazz Corner. One time,
walking around, grab a drink there.
We're about on the Company Street Bridge on our right is a Casino Club building, finished in 1927. The club expanded in the mid-50s after being together for about a century. The building changed hands a time or two, and in 1970 it was renovated as a restaurant and retail space on the first two floors, and above that are apartments. Now Nick Taylor, who wrote the world-famous novel Roots, was once a tenant in the Casino Club building. Part of the riverwalk into which we're entering now is known as River Square. It's a place of retail, taverns, and restaurants. It's also a place for my duck friends, great if they're come this time of night and get something to eat. Doesn't matter where they're seated, they always want a peanut butter. Even though I told you to get Mexican food or Cajun food or Mexican food or Italian food or Mexican food or Texas barbecue, more Mexican food is all available. It's all delicious. I can be always order peanut butter.
Oh, nice.
Well, Greg looked at me and he said, well, Mitch, we always get peanut butter because ducks don't have their own crackers. You're welcome. The head porch is street level, that orange reddish or reddish orange sculpture, one of many pieces of public art here in San Antonio. That particular piece is called the Torch of Friendship. It's a gift from the people of Mexico to the people of San Antonio. It was designed and created by the Mexican artist Sebastian, who built it on site in 2002. Remember the historic Commerce Street Bridge on the right is Casamillo. 1946, they were the first to offer riverside dining. They're also the first to offer riverboat rides. Now those boats were not. God was the first around the long pole. I really can't tell you how happy I'm going to be all the night here to get on my boat. Austin, from which country was expanded this year on the right. From that building out and actually stands on land as part of the 1777 land grant from the King of Spain.
Wow.
As San Antonio is preparing for the 1968 World Fair, it quickly agreed that the Riverwalk would be a part of that celebration, so they made the man-made extension, the area into which we're re-entering now, to connect the Riverwalk with the fairground. The man-made extension is 4, maybe 5 feet deep. It's all concrete bottom. We call it the man-made extension because it extends the San Antonio River and it's man-made. You're welcome.
¿Para qué tienen eso?
As we come out on the Alamo Street Bridge, that also will be the Marriott Riverwalk, finished in 1979. On the left of the Marriott River Center, finished in 1988. But before they built the Marriott River Center, they had overcome the fact that the Fremont Hotel has stood that location since 1906. Its historic standing prevented it from being torn down, even though it was a derelict building at the time. To renovate it to make it part of the Marriott family was not their business plan, so they took the only option they had left. They moved it. In 1985, after 5 years of study, they jacked up that 16,000-ton building, put it on a flatbed truck with pneumatic tires, and over the next 6 days, we did 4 blocks on the Waymo and South Alamo Street where it stands this moment. The Guinness Book of World Records has recognized the move of the Fremont as the largest building moved on pneumatic tires. You want to see the full documentary about that move? It's on YouTube, of course. Almost about half the world has seen it. To our right, well, 750-foot tall Tower of the Americas, centerpiece of the 1986 World's Fair. At the top of it is a restaurant that makes one complete revolution every hour. That's fast enough to have a nice meal, see all of San Antonio and its environs, but not so fast that you need a Dramamine for dessert. Just above the restaurant is an observation deck, and for $16 you can ride a glass panel elevator over that observation deck. Or, twice a year, you may take the stairs. There's only 952 of them, and in 1981 the record for climbing those stairs from the ground to that observation deck was set at 5 minutes, 18 seconds. I have to tell you, good people, I will never do that again. We made the big circle. We'll be docking here in just a few moments, so please remain seated. I'll get firmly tied back at the dock. Look around you to make sure you brought it with you. Take it with you. Hats, coats, scarves, glasses, trash, drink receptacles, sunglasses, and cameras. Small children, spouses, grandparents, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews, in-laws, outlaws, and of course those beloved ex-laws. If you would have to lease something on my boat, we do have a wonderful lost and found website. It's called www.ebay.com. Thank you for letting me be part of your holiday this evening, folks. I know you had a lot of options. You chose to come and get on this boat and to brag about my beautiful city. I want you to know I appreciate it. As a matter of fact, of the thousands of people it's been more than my privilege to take on this tour over the last 6+ years, you are without a doubt and are by far the most recent. I'm going to miss you like San Antonio miss rain. Pass up. I'll be on the dock if you have any questions. You want to get back to some places we talked about, some places else here in San Antonio. This being Fiesta Week, folks, there is so much to see and do in this town. Just get on the website, Fiesta 2024. See all the events and the festivals that are going on. That's part of it. As you're getting on the boat, there's some folks there to take your pictures. They're going to be on the dock. They can see those pictures, give some idea what you're doing. If you enjoyed yourself, if you learned something, you heard a dumb joke you never heard before, wish you hadn't, or just for a job very well done, I'm going to put a tip jar on a handle here if you'd like to put something in it. Only tipping your driver for a job well done is allowed, accepted, and appreciated. Thanks to my children who insist that I live in this city, we have been Venmo, Cash App.
Let's go.
Lo paramos con el día de la mala.
Sí, mi amor.
A couple of things very quickly. Folks, there's a step between the boat and the dock. And because the boat's on the water, as you walk on, the boat's going to be in motion. It's going to pitch and yaw. If you get in a hurry, you may lose your balance, trip, and hurt yourself. And if you get hurt, you'll be in pain. I'll be heartbroken, so please take your time. And if you would, remember that my name is Mitch. It's been more than my privilege to have you on my boat, and I hope you enjoyed the tour as much as I enjoyed having you be part of my crew. Hope you have a wonderful time in the greatest city on the planet. There's a lot to do here, folks, and even though it's a big city, it has a small town feel, and it doesn't matter where you come from. If you've been here for 30 minutes or 30 years, you are our neighbor. We want you to stay as long as you possibly can. Unfortunately, right now, as pertains to my boat, I have to say to you what my parents told me on my 43rd birthday. Look around you, make sure you have all your stuff, because it's time for you to go. Y'all enjoy San Antonio. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.